1 million euros. That's the price Arsenal were willing to pay for Kiera Walsh. £3 million for Aitana Bonmatí. And now Naomi Girma has become the first million-dollar player in the game's history. But as football celebrates this monumental milestone, we have to ask, what is the true cost of a £1 million valuation?
Hype her. This isn't just about one transfer. Arsenal made waves with their €1.1 million bid for Kiera Walsh, a sign of ambition, even if the deal didn't happen. Chelsea went even bigger, reportedly offering £3 million for Aitana Bonmatí. Now, Naomi Girma, a player who embodies intelligence, leadership, and composure, has broken new ground. It's not just about the number. A £1 million transfer signals something much bigger. For starters, it brings more eyes to the game. Transfers like this generate buzz, attract sponsors, and inspire the next generation of players. And here's the best part. Naomi Girma is a defender. For years, defenders have been overshadowed by forwards and goal scorers. But Girma's historic transfer says every role on the pitch matters. It's not just theory, data backs it up. According to Visa, 53% of women's football fans have only developed their interest in the last 3 years, and that number jumps to 62% for fans aged 18 to 24. Transfers like Girma's capture the attention of this growing fan base, turning curiosity into lifelong support. And sponsors are noticing, with the number of women's-only deals growing by 3 times in the same time period. But with every milestone come growing pains. Big money transfers could bring challenges that the women's game hasn't faced before, or exacerbate existing ones. First, talent hoarding. Clubs like Chelsea already boast incredible depth, with a bench full of stars. Arsenal and City aren't far behind. If the richest clubs keep stockpiling talent, smaller teams will struggle to compete. And that could stifle the competitive balance that has made women's football so captivating. Then there's the ripple effect in the NWSL. With Girma leaving for the WSL and the NWSL eliminating the draft rather than improving it, it could turn the two into direct competitors. The US football pyramid produces elite talent year after year, but if European clubs continue to lure away its brightest stars, it could weaken the league's ability to grow at the same pace. Visa's study also reveals a deeper concern: the need for sustainable, grassroots-focused growth. While the global game contributed nearly $1.9 billion to the world's GDP during the FIFA Women's World Cup, the challenge is ensuring that wealth reaches smaller leagues and clubs, not just the top tier. And let's not forget the fans. As private equity and massive transfer fees reshape the game, what happens to the supporters who've been there from the beginning? The same study by Visa shows how vital fans are to this growth. 44% of fans say they expect to engage even more with the sport in the next 3 years. But that engagement needs to remain accessible. If ticket prices, merch costs, or streaming access become more exclusive, it risks pricing out the everyday supporters, the ones who've built this sport from the ground up. And that raises the question, how do we balance growth with accessibility while keeping the sport's soul intact?
The great Nelson Mandela was the one that said, we can use sport to change the world. Well, these two, you're not. When you can push sport forward and make social change happen.
Still, the $1 million milestone has its positives. For players, transfers like this could mean more longer-term contracts, better financial stability, and a deeper commitment from clubs. This kind of investment reflects what fans and players have long hoped for: a holistic, professionalized, sustainable market. Visa's findings underline this. Nearly 67% of fans believe brands and sponsors are essential for the sport's development. As clubs invest in marquee players like Girma, it creates a virtuous cycle of growth. Players receive the stability they deserve, clubs thrive, and sponsors invest. The era of short-term deals and free transfers is fading, and that's a win for players, teams, and the game as a whole. Naomi Girma is the face of this new era. There isn't a question whether she's worth it. It's whether we're ready for what comes next. So, what is the true cost of a $1 million valuation? It's entirely up to us.